Hello class, this is a video tutorial on variables in statistics. Before we can continue, we need to learn what statistics is. Okay, so statistics is a branch of mathematics that deals with the collecting of facts and information, which is organized to form conclusions and or predictions. This definition will make a lot more sense as we continue this unit. But for now, just try to make as much sense as you can out of this. And we're going to move on. And so we're going to move on to what a variable is, because that is the primary focus of statistics. Okay, so variables are the particular properties or characteristics of the group of people or objects we are collecting data from. Okay. So an example of some variables might be their favorite something. It might be their height, their weight. It could be the test score they got, and a whole range of other things that we could possibly measure. Okay, and to better understand variables, we should look into how they are organized. So variables are either one of two different types. So they can be either categorical or numerical. And each of these are further subdivided. Okay, so categorical data there are two types of categorical data or variables. Okay, well, categorical variables are into two types. We have nominal and we have ordinal. So a nominal categorical data is a variable that describes a characteristic or one that can be sorted into categories, hence categorical data. And a few examples of those are eye colors, your favorite sports, or your favorite song, or your favorite band, or the things that you participated in during the school break, for example. Okay. A ordinal categorical data is a variable that has clear order or position of each category. So these are very similar, but this one, as the name suggests, has order to it. So a few examples of that is, if we were to categorize temperature into low, mid, or high, as you can see, well, there's a clear distinction and order between them. You have low, mid, and high. So from lowest to highest. You could also be the position in a race of some sort. So you could come first, second, or third, or etc. Can you sort of see how coming first is sort of a category, but it's not just any category, it's the highest category or the best category. So ordinal has some order to it, hence the name. So those are categorical variables. Okay, then the other types are numerical, and as the name suggests, these involve numbers. And just as the previous categorical data, numerical data is divided into two types. We have discrete and continuous. Okay. Discrete is a variable with exact numbers, often as a result of counting. So an example of that is the number of students in a room. So if I started counting students in the room, I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Or the number of cars on the road. Again, I could sit down and count the cars that pass by. Or the number of marks in a test. I'll start counting. And the last thing that I'd like to look into is continuous numerical data. So it's a variable that is in a range of numbers, often a result of measuring, not to be confused with counting. So take, for example, if I were to take this ruler and I start measuring length of string, I could get 3.5 centimeters. I could get 4.2. I could get 2.9. So as you can see, there's no distinction in between each of these. In actual fact, I could get a more detailed ruler and make it, I don't know, 1.22 centimeters. So as you can see, it's a range of numbers, whereas these, there has to be distinct individual numbers. A good way, the way I like to think of it is there such a thing as 1.5 students inside a room? No, that's impossible. You can't get half a person without them dying. Whereas with weight, height, time, and volume, and etc., you can get 13.5 kilos, 0.5 kilos. You can get half a kilo. You can get half a meter. You can get 3/4 of a second. You can get 3.67 liters. So these can have decimal values, is the good way to think of it, whereas these cannot. Okay, so let's just take a quick exercise of the following then. Okay, let's take a look at the following. Let's classify the following into either categorical, nominal, categorical ordinal, or numerical discrete, or numerical continuous. So I'll just list on the top of this page the possibilities that we can have. We could get categorical, nominal, or ordinal, or we could get numerical. This could be discrete, or it could be continuous. Okay. Example A. So we have the gender of a newborn. Well, the gender of a newborn could only be male or female. So it's clearly not numerical. Is there an order of male or female? Does one come first or does one come second? Is there a position? No, there isn't. So there's male or female. So this must be. So there's no order to these. So these are just, this is just categorical, whoops, nominal. Okay. The height of students. Okay, so the height can be measured in millimeters, centimeters, meters. Okay, so it's numerical. Now, when you measure these, can you have decimal places? Can you have decimal values? Yes, you can. So it must be numerical continuous. Numerical continuous. Okay. Question C. Energy star rating on fridges, where it says the 1 star, in case you don't know, on your fridge it goes from 1 star, I think, up until 5-star rating. Okay, so it may seem like it's a numerical data because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but it's not so much a number, it's a rating. Okay, so it's actually categorical. Okay, and is there an order to it? Yes, there is, because 1 is the lowest, meaning 2, 3, 4, and 5 are better. So this is categorical ordinal. favorite music genre of student. Okay, so clearly not numerical. There's no numbers involved with these. So if I ask someone, what is your favorite music genre? Someone could say, I don't know, rock. Someone could say rap. Someone could say pop, etc. And these do not have any order to them because one is not better than the other, although that's debatable. But in mathematics, these have no position. So this must be categorical nominal. No, ran out of space there. Okay, so the ranking of professional athletes. Okay, so take for example, if we take a look at, for example, I don't know, LeBron James. Okay, he can be given a ranking for point guard, for the number of points. Okay, and he could be said, oh, he's first in the number of points he gets per game. Okay, well, if he's first for points scored, there's a position involved. Okay, so it must be an ordinal categorical. So it'd be, this would be categorical ordinal. Okay, number of premierships won by a team. Well, it kind of gives it away. It says number. Okay, so it's going to be numerical. Let's figure out if it's continuous or discrete. Is there such a thing as a fraction of a premiership? Can you win half a premiership? Can you win a quarter of the premiership? If the answer is no, well then it can't be continuous. It must be discrete. So this one here is numerical discrete. Okay. And here's where it gets a little tricky. I put this in here to really trick us. The monthly average attendance to a train station. So the people that go to a train station. Okay, so the average, in case you don't know, is per day. Like some days you might have 5, some days you might have 4, but on average we'll see how busy it is. So this clearly is dealing with a number, so it's numerical. And I know it may seem, right, like it seems discrete. Okay, because we're talking about people going to a train station. But since it's an average, it is possible to get decimal values. Okay, so this one's up in the air, but since it's an average, I would say that this is numerical continuous. Okay, so I hope that this was a good start for you in understanding variables in statistics. Okay.